Okay, how many do we have here? Ah, yes. Which decides not to do what it wants. Yeah. There we go. Oh no. Whoops. There's our daily bot. That one you can heat coffee with great gusto. Completely fine. Did you know, and I just heard about that, the Oxford Dictionary has now acknowledged and integrated the following word: brain rot. Yes. It is now an official word in language. It's not a matter of time, it's in there now. It is now an official word. Look what this internet culture has brought us, or brought us. Anyway, we shall continue this brain rot here. The articles that Mr. McGilded had deposited in Windybank's pawnbrokery are intimately related with the omnibus case, the trial of which was heard in this courtroom 2 months ago. The good, the bad, and the brain rot. Yes. Yes, and I remember this young lady being brought before me in that trial as well. That's right, my lord. Her testimony helped to establish the innocence of the defendant, Mr. McGilded. The omnibus case was intriguing, to say the least. And now here we all are again, the same players in the trial facing each other once more. A twist of fate, perhaps, my Nipponese friend. Allow me to recap the events of 2 months ago. An old brickmaker was stabbed to death in an omnibus running along London's winter streets. Apart from the victim, there was only one other person in the carriage, Mr. McGilded. Naturally, he was the prime suspect for murder. But as the trial progressed, another possibility emerged. That the murder in fact took place above the defendant's head on the roof of the deck, with the body then being dropped through the skylight into the carriage below. It was Miss Lestrade whose testimony brought that possibility to light. At the time of the incident, Miss Lestrade was concealed under the seat in the carriage. hoping to pick the pockets of unsuspecting passengers. Then, immediately after the trial, having been acquitted of the murder, Mr. McGilder died in this very courtroom in the most extra common of circumstances. A mystery that remains unsolved even now, 2 months on, as indeed does the omnibus murder itself. Be it that as it may, I recall neither the disc nor this small box being mentioned in the course of those proceedings. Miss Lestrade, would you tell the court now, please? What really happened in the omnibus 2 months ago, I mean? I do know what you mean. I already said all what I know. And what about everything you told us yesterday from inside your prison cell? Please, Miss Lestrade, this is extremely important. But... Remember, little girl, if it transpires that you willfully withheld information in the trial 2 months ago, the Home Office will seek to prosecute for perjury. And naturally, you will lose all credibility as a witness. Although, let's face facts, you have little credibility to lose.
Genie, don't listen to him. Please, you have to trust Bruno now.
Iris!
We're on your side.
Alright then, I'll talk. It's the right choice, Gina.
Well, it would seem that my learned friend is hell-bent on bringing the entire courtroom down about his ears. So be it.
I must confess that I'm struggling to understand what's going on Earth is happening here. That's not what it says in this text box, but I said it anyway. However, it would appear that Mr. McGilder's pawned articles and that extra common case of the omnibus harbor secrets of which we have been hitherto unaware.
Hetero.
So, Miss Lestrade, you will now give your testimony before the court about the events 2 months ago. You will reveal the truth, a commodity sorely lacking in your original statements.
This is it then. Everything is going to come out. Sounds so raw. All comes out. Like Van Six said. This could bring the whole courtroom down about my ears, but as a lawyer, I'm prepared to take that risk.
A lawyer? The truth is, the brickmaker Cove was in the cabin of the omnibus the whole time. When the Irishman dragged me out from under the seat, I saw the disc on the floor. All of a sudden, I heard a scream from over me head, and the bell on the roof deck went off to call the slops. That's when McGilder slipped the driver some tin to do a run for the pawn shop roundabout. He threatened me not to snitch, not to say nothing to no one about
what it would seen or heard. Good grief, this is outrageous. What you've just told the court bears almost no resemblance to your testimony 2 months ago. As you say, my lord. Then there's every chance I might have adjudicated in error in McGilded's trial. It sounds very much to me as if the man deliberately deceived this court in an effort to cover up the most wicked of schemes. Without doubt, your lordship is correct. A great injustice was done in this courtroom 2 months ago. The actions of the accused in this trial, of these witnesses, and of my learned friend are entirely inexcusable. I don't believe it. The whole trial was a farce. It's all lies. That's Miss McGilded fellow court, just like don't forget the lawyer from the east. They were all in together. You're wrong. The lot of you. Mr. Nada Odo, the lawyer here, he didn't know nothing about it.
Humbug!
I don't think so. Are we really expecting to believe that? He really stitched everyone up, didn't he? What an operation to get the man off scot-free. Unforgivable. Stop. The lies have to stop. Stop. Yes, the defense made a terrible error of judgment. I intend to take full responsibility and suffer whatever consequences are deemed appropriate. However, it is imperative that the court allows the witness to elaborate on her testimony. Because the true significance of McGilded's Pond articles must be brought to light. Very well, my learned student friend. Given the depths of calamity you have just plunged yourself into, this might well be worth hearing. What was that? Boom! Words fail me. This situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, my lord. I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial. Of course, my lord. Blimey, Mr. Naruhodo. Now, counsel, proceed with your cross-examination. I will rip your eyes out and then make you the new hot dog selling boy on Dark Street. What? Okay. Truth is that Brickmaker Corp was in the cabin of the omnibus the whole time.
Hold it!
And you were hiding in the cabin all the time as well, weren't you, Miss Lestrade? If I remember rightly, in the storage compartment underneath one of those seats? Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black under there, so you can't see nothing at all. Why are these guys talking to each other? What is this? I still think that these two and the two brothers are actually all four brothers. But what is this going on here? Now, in your testimony 2 months ago, I feel as certain that you claimed Mr. McGilded was the sole passenger, did you not? False testimony, my lord.
That's what it told me I had to say. But it's important that you tell us the truth now. Were Mr. McGilded and the victim acquaintances? I don't know. But I did hear him talking a lot. What were they talking about? Well, I couldn't hear it too well, but if I had to say, I think it was about money or something. They kept talking about buying and not buying.
Perhaps business or dealings of some kind?
Well, anyway, they got louder and louder. It started to sound like a proper fight. It was pretty scary by then. I hardly dared to breathe, and then all of a sudden I heard a noise like someone keeling over the floor. It was blooming loud and all.
And I believe you let out an involuntary scream?
Yeah. It's what gave me away. When the Irishman dragged me out from under the seat, I saw the disc on the floor.
Hold it!
Was the disc you saw this disc? Yeah, I reckon it was probably... It probably was. It was right next to the cough, lying on the floor.
Could this disc have belonged to the victim, perhaps?
I don't know, but McGilder picked it up and pretty smartish. And then he sat on a cough with the knife in his belly up on the seat. What did he say to you at that time? He told me not to say a word about what I'd seen or heard to no one. About disc and all. I was dead scared. The way he was looking at me, I thought, if I didn't go along with it, I'd get stuck with that knife too. Then he started asking me a lot of questions. Like what me name was and where I lived and that. He asked me about being a diver too. But after a while, what happened in the carriage was noticed. After a while, what had happened in the carriage was noticed. Yeah, it's right. First it was the kind of rapping noise. All of a sudden I heard a scream from over me head. And that pair on the roof deck went off to call the slops. Aye, Bob. I shall do that for a second. Thank you, Bob. Oh, wait, go back. There were two gentlemen occupying the seats on the roof deck, I believe. That's right. They must have looked down through the skylight and noticed a cop with the knife in its gut. When they screamed, the driver pulled the horses and McGilder got me out of sight.
Out of sight? Where?
Back under the seat where it started off. Once the carriage came to an halt, the two goths from the roof ran off to fetch the slops. If they immediately left to fetch the police, it would appear they were entirely unrelated to the incident. So that left McGilded, the driver, and you still at the scene. Yeah, only the driver didn't know I was there cause I was under the seat. I heard the cabin door open and a voice from outside.
The driver, yes, he also testified in the trial, I believe. A fellow who went by the name Beppo, if memory serves.
Beppo. There's a place in Japan called Beppu. Not Beppo, but Beppu. And it is a city that is lucky enough to have like hot water going under them. So the entire city is filled with onsen. Like basically every household has a private onsen at home. What did McGilded and the driver say to each other? Beppu. It's called Beppu. I don't know what happened and stuff like that mainly. It's when McGilded slipped the driver some tin to do a run to the pawn shop roundabout. That pawn shop obviously being Windy Banks on Baker Street.
Just a moment, Counsel. Do you mean to tell me that the driver gave false testimony in that trial as well?
Perhaps the excursion to the pawnbrokery slipped his mind when he was in the stand.
Indeed, Lord 16.
McGilded took off his coat and gave it to the driver. He folded it up all carefully like before handing it over. When I saw him do that, I remember thinking, that coat and what's in it has gotta be worth a few bob. Yes, Gina was sure the disc must be worth more than Mr. Windybank was suggesting, wasn't she? I remember the quibbling with him over the price that afternoon at the pawnbrokery. The driver looked pretty happy when McGilded flashed some brass in his face. He went running off at a lick. Then the bog trotter called to me and told me to come out from the drag's cabin. He threatened me not to snitch, not to say nothing to no one about what I seen or heard. Threatened you? How exactly? Told me I'd only be able to escape if I did exactly what he said. Which included giving false testimony in court 2 months ago? Yeah, that's it. And there's one other thing he said. Which was? He told me I'd have to hang on the ticket from the pawn shop and make sure not to lose it.
The ticket? Well, I never.
Said that if he didn't show up to get the ticket off me before 2 months passed, I had to go to the pawn shop and pay the money to keep it in luck, to stop it being forfeited. He left me with some brass to pay for it.
But really, why on earth would Mr. McGilded have done such a thing? Depositing his overcoat with the pawnbroker before the arrival of the police. It makes no sense at all.
There would seem to be only one logical explanation, milord. What McGilded had the driver deposit at Windybanks was something he didn't want the police to see. Something very important that he needed to hide at all costs. Anyway, after that, he let me go, so I elected before the coppers showed up. Well done, Gina. It can't have been easy to tell the truth like that.
Jeannie's really put her faith in you, Bruno.
Yes, and thanks to her, she'll have to face a charge of perjury once this trial is over. So I need to use this time we have now to get as much information out of her as possible.
It's time to really go for it. Press her on every statement.
I suppose I should.
Oh, and another thing.
What's that?
Take a look at those two. Isn't it strange that they've been whispering to each other the entire time?
Yes, that's strange. It's like they're having a secret discussion about something. I'm not sure if I'm completely comfortable with that. I wonder if there's anything I can do about it.
Hold it!
Okay. Remember right there, storage compartment. That's right, pitch black. The problem is that they don't react to anything.
Hold it! Hold it!
I don't think we have anything new. We have basically looked at everything here.
Hold it! Hold it!
Okay. Hmm. another thing. What's that? Okay, that's the same thing. We'll press this again. I don't know. I guess the game kind of wants me to do this
Excuse me.
just like that. Is there something you would like to share with the court, Inspector Greggs and Mr. Graydon? Inspector, Mr. Graydon. What's wrong with me? You're trying to say husband. You have been whispering to each other for quite some time now. Tell us, what is this discussion about? Discussion? With this fair? What position? You think I can think about things like this? And I have nothing to say to this uncouth detective, after he deprived me of that disc that was rightfully mine. But I've clearly been talking the entire time. I've been cross-examining Gina. It's as if they've been negotiating. Thank you, Miss Lestrade. Thank you, Counsel. I've heard enough. I believe we have now a reasonable understanding of what actually transpired on the omnibus. It would appear on the night 2 months ago, a negotiation was taking place on the omnibus. A negotiation concerning this disc. However, matters did not run smoothly. When the parties involved began to quarrel over price, McGilder took what he wanted by force, at the expense of the other man's life. Which proves my point. The disc is clearly extremely valuable in some way. Although I don't understand why as yet. And 2 days ago, precisely 2 months after the omnibus incident, McGilder's code and its contents were due to be forfeited. I didn't know what should I do with the ticket. I mean, the calf died right after his trial. I knew that. So you decided you would try to claim the articles as your own. Well, why not, eh? They were only gonna be forfeited. Why should I have got them? Why shouldn't I have got them? Anyway, you can't blame me for thinking about it. Thinking ain't no crime. Miss Lestrade, it would appear Mr. McGilder was prepared to kill in order to take possession of this disc. Do you know why that would be? Eh? I ain't got a clue. But I reckon it must be worth a bit of brass. He was probably gonna sell it. And you can't blame me for thinking that. Thinking ain't no crime. My lord. The evidence your lordship requested has been located and is ready for the court's inspection, sir. What is this guy? Mysterious little box deposited by McGilda 2 months ago. There's no doubt in my mind that it's a key piece in this far-reaching puzzle. To be continued.
So this is the article in question, isn't it?
Yes, it is. 1 second. Okay. Let me see.
Oh my god, a box, the center of the universe.
Did you know that you are the center of the universe? As I am. But yes, it can only be one center of the universe. No, not really. Everybody's the center of the universe. The Battle Royale. Yeah, that's when the universe stops expanding and starts to compressing again. Then we have the true universal Fortnite battle.
A small box deposited with the pawnbroker by Mr. McGilda 2 months ago.
And on the night of Mr. Windybank's murder, the only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop. As for your question on the Discord earlier, you can tell me that on Discord. That's okay. Okay, it came back, that's good. But did you get the rest?
Quick, quick, let's open it and see what's inside.
Aha, it is the music box we need.
Good gracious, this is no ordinary box, it seems.
Wow, although in truth I had an inkling that might be the case. I get what they charged me, so the rest is still there. So it's still on PayPal. It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement.
Then is it too much to expect?
I think it would be reasonable to assume that this is a device for the playback of this disc, my lord. And to be a very good court, we will now put the disc in it and listen to it, as it disgraces the entirety of the UK British Empire, because there are state government secrets recorded on that disc, so every peasant in this room can hear it. Yes, as the Swift code matter, it's up to the bank. I don't know how they managed not to have one. Yeah, but in the end, okay, so they charged you. And we know they charge you, and then they said, like, tell us a specific number for this charge. Did you do that, or did they not give you one? Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGilded's disc. It was the disc of his victim in the omnibus.
But why, for heaven's sake? Are we to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to McGilded?
What do you mean the charge was made by PayPal, so PayPal sent the charge back? Yes, but wasn't it meant as they charge your bank and then told you we need to know a specific number from this transaction so we can verify your account? I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to the music on the disc, my lord.
Yes, very well. Let the court now listen to this curious disc at last.
Hold it!
Hey, me lady.
Good grief, what's the meaning of this, Inspector?
Me, under this, no. The need to buy the summer and receive the court and this is music.
Objection!
This disc may very well have motivated the culprit in this case to commit murder. Clearly, there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understanding what happened. The prosecution has no objection.
But you, the piece of it, position.
Clearly, Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. But it is policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening.
Oh! No further delays, please. Play the disc.
Unna kutuluma.
It's Morse code. How unexpected.
What on earth? That's certainly not what I would call music.
No. It's just the same note playing over and over again in an irregular sequence. Yes. PayPal said the money will come back eventually, whether the verification is successful or not. PayPal said that the money will come back eventually, whether the yeah. What was like? The question is this: did the verification work? Yes or no? And if no, what is missing?
Mr. Graydon?
These This really is priceless. After all, the music box is broken.
Broken? Can't be, can it?
Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the officers sent to fetch it didn't drop it on the way back to the courtroom.
Well, with much regret, I feel the court must accept that this music box offers little in the way of clues.
Is everybody like stones are smarter than most people in this room? And I can't even believe that this guy is even allowed to execute his job.
Are you ready to move on, Consul? Come on.
No, the verification didn't went through. There was no valid SWIFT code on my with my bank. Did you ask? Did you ask your bank if there was a code? Could this music emanating from the music box possibly be a new clue? No way! I believe that it could be relevant, my lord.
Good lord, but how can it be? How can I be so unintelligent? It's an abomination, Council. Mere noise. I fail to see how it can have any meaning whatsoever.
Yes, I asked, and the branch that I went to didn't have one. Okay. There are two solutions to this problem. There are three solutions to this problem. The first solution is go to PayPal, into their help/FAQ section and search for your country and see if there's any information about that, how verification processes work there, if at all. If you do not find any, then you have two options. The probably easier option is to write to PayPal and ask, hey, I live in this country, how can I verify my account with you? And let them explain it to you. And the last option is basically asking the same question your bank. But I think this last option will probably yield no actual results. So I would go with the first point, and then if the first one doesn't help, go with the second. Because in the end, it would be beneficial if it would be possible to give you money through PayPal. It does sound strange, I agree, but there's one thing that is bothering me. Our Graydon stands there chortling victoriously. The inspector beside him is has a rather telling expression on his face. It's as if Greg's recognized the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow. And that's making him appear extremely on edge. If that's the stance of the defense, my Nipponese friend, answer me this. Oh. Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on the case? It's the defense's belief that the sound emanating from this music box is broken. Not supposed to be music. Just because this is a music box doesn't necessarily mean the sounds we are hearing are music. Look at that. That smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. I must be.
Making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting just like Hurley, Runo.
Objection!
The sounds we are hearing aren't necessarily music. Oh, now you've told us what they are or not. I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Nipponese friend. Surely you have an idea in mind, because if not, it will be the death of your ill-formed argument. Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness. They've got me. I don't know what the answer is yet. How?
Runo. I've just examined the music box very thoroughly. And I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all.
Really?
Really, the way it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway.
Okay, she's 10 years old, she's a genius. And how did she not notice yet that this is Morse code? Thank you, Iris. Alright, well, if the music box isn't broken, must mean the sound it's producing have some significance that isn't musical. Could it be? Is that what these sounds are?
Something's just struck me, Runo. I feel like recently, in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like the one this music box makes.
Yes, it's a familiar sound. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing. I'm going to have to press the defense for an answer. If your assertion is that the sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all, then what the devil is it, Counsel? Perkele. All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, it's all pointing to one single answer now. The prosecution demands that my learned Nipponese friend presents proof now. Tangible proof of this latest wild speculation. Alright then. This could be the best chance I'm going... This could be the best chance I'm going to get to fight back in this trial. And if I'm right, it's going to join all the dots together. The evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds on this music box disc is... I don't know. I don't know. I'm too unintelligible to... unintelligent to know. Despite that, I know. I mean, we have the news article, so it's not gonna be this, it's not gonna be that. It's not that, 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 not that, not the autopsy report. I think we need to do this.
Take that!
Today's paper, Council? The headline is Pawnbroker Parishes Pickpurse Plunder, hardly supportive of your case.
Oh no, my lord, I was hoping you would look a little further down the page.
Further down, Ministry More classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Ah yes, this is a very serious matter being investigated at the highest level, I understand.
I have heard that the international transmission along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries. And presumably those transmissions are in the form of wire telegrams? Of course. Juror number 5, your input, please. Process is the same everywhere, unfortunately. Okay. Unless my bank conjure a Swift code out of their ass, the money stays with my PayPal. Well, then ask your bank to conjure a Swift code out of their ass. What kind of bank is that? Like, a Swift code is something that basically every bank on this planet uses. Yeah, I just looked it up. I'm sorry, but this is a worldwide way to identify stuff between financial institutions and banks. That makes no sense. Your branch can't just not have it while every other one's in the same bank has them. That makes no sense. That's bullshit. That's literal bullshit. That is incompetence on the highest level. They are literally lying to you. Every branch has a separate code. Mine just doesn't exist, apparently. Something is off. Yes! I'm sorry, you should go there again and tell them that this cannot be. This code must exist. Otherwise, this transaction would not exist at all. You literally have to demand. That is your right, and they have this code. They must have this code. This is bullshittery on the highest level. Stop. Oh, me? Me, sir? Whatever is the matter? You told the court before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not? Yes, that's correct. And the particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports? Oh, yes, we are not your run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important. Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound? You don't mean to say, is it? That's right, madam. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code? But I don't believe it. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communication officer. Are you suggesting that the music box disc contains stolen government secrets in Morse code?
Order! Yes, everyone, order! But this is...
How can I demand something that doesn't exist? It must exist, otherwise this money would have never come back to you. This is bullshit. Don't talk to the same person again that talked to you. Talk to another one, and if they don't have an answer, then demand that their boss or their manager or whatever is above them PayPal took $1.99 from you and gave it back to you. You said that. That's why you bought yourself a coffee with it. Yes, the money came back. But that charge happened. The money came back. The charge happened. Therefore, there must be a SWIFT code with this specific charge. That is the SWIFT code you need. And you have the right to demand for this SWIFT code, because this SWIFT code is necessary to even make this transaction. It cannot just not exist. A bank cannot make a charge and not apply a SWIFT code or any code to it. You would not even be able to find it if it wasn't the case. PayPal didn't ask for it when they charge. So PayPal didn't ask you to provide a SWIFT code. Do I understand this correctly?
This is high treason, Counsel, deserving of capital punishment.
So much new vocabulary. What is treason and what is capital punishment?
The sorts of words I would half expect you to know.
For our sovereign government's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price.
So I just switched to a bank that have a SWIFT code then. What's the problem? The problem is that you would need a different bank and a different bank account, which Can you answer me the first question, please, Coffee? You say PayPal didn't ask for it when they charge. So, to verify your bank, PayPal didn't ask for a SWIFT code. Yes? No? Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. So the code is not necessary. Sorry to double ask, just making sure. Okay. So what does it say then in your PayPal account? Does it say now that your bank is verified? Because you can check that. But in the end, McGilded perished, and the all-important disc lay unclaimed in the pawnbrokery.
My word!
In which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must have surely been as beside himself with worry. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country,
It would reveal an act of high treason punishable by death.
so the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it. And in order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. Because the article left behind by Mr. McGilded would incriminate him too much if it got in the wrong hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon? No, it's not verified. They were keeping the money until the timer run out, and it will come back to my account, just that it took like a week for that to happen. It's not verified. They were keeping the money until the timer ran out. Okay. But there are usually two ways to identify a bank account. Out of security reason, they do this. So either they charge your bank with a small amount of money, and in return they ask you to present to them the SWIFT code this transaction is going to show you when you get your bank account papers at the end of the month, or whenever this transaction is shown in your account, so they can verify that you truly are the owner of this account. The other way is the easier one, where they simply charge your account some money and see, is there an account? If yes, then they will give the money back right away, and it's just like a very short, small test to see if the bank account is real. Because the timer was for me to put in the SWIFT code. No SWIFT code was provided, so the verification didn't come through. Yeah, okay. Okay. I see. You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous. Absolutely preposterous.
So, in response to the defense's accusation, you claim complete innocence, do you?
Well, of course I do. I've had to stand here in silence while the pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Then by all means, counter the charges, sir. The prosecution demands the witness testifies in response to the accusations brought by the defense. Don't know why the Swift code is needed since the important info of my bank account. Why did they just ask for that? How do you pay on Steam? Like, with what do you pay on Steam? Delighted, I'm sure.
The witness is reminded that the crime under the scrutiny in this trial is the murder of the pawnbroker Mr. Windybank. That being the most flagitious offense for which the law of this land sanctions a capital punishment. But the heinous act of high treason is no less a serious crime. Is no less serious a crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Grainen. So then, let us proceed. You may.
Same as you and everyone else. No, Coffee, wrong. You have many possibilities to pay on Steam. So tell me, how do you pay on Steam? Do you use a credit card? Do you use PayPal? Do you use an online paying service? Do you use Steam credit cards? That's what I mean. Hey yo, you gotta let us have a rabbit on pork here, Governor. Got things to say.
I beg your pardon? What? Who do you think you are?
Hey yo, name Stash Skulking. Occupation is professional baddie.
Haha, name's Ringo Skulking, but we ain't baddies enough to sell out our motherland.
It's Ray. Well, what they call the three skulking brothers. That's very famous. Very bullshit. With the funny little numbers on my card. And that card is what? A debit card, a credit card. That's a difference. Debit card. Okay. I don't mess with credit cards. Let me think. I have this, I have this. This has been too long ago, so therefore I don't remember. I think you can also do payouts to a debit card in PayPal. I guess when you made it, you chose bank account, I assume. Like, if I remember correctly, I gave you the money and you tried to pay out the money to your bank account, right? Yes, the SIM card that I tried to connect to PayPal with. Okay. So that didn't work. Weird. Mere communications officer couldn't possibly... A mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. Yes, because it's completely impossible. Besides, the sounds produced by that music box aren't even Morse code. It was some low-class brickmaker negotiation with McGilded anyway, was it not? I've no relationship to the man. Hey yo, look all we done is break into the gaff the other night like what he told us to do.
If we'd known there was no dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it.
So just take the money out without using any bank account. You can try? Try it. Hopefully it works. Then it would solve all the problems. You should give it a try and see if it works.
Mr. Skulking.
Eeyore, one Mr. I'll do, Governor. What's up?
Do I take it that you now admit to the crime? That on the night in question, you did indeed gain entry to the premise illegally? And moreover, did you so as a party of 3 in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here?
We did, Gov.
Write down, please. What you say to that, Mr. Graydon?
I have no idea what these two ruffians are referring to. Yeah, little rather, getting us mixed up with this monkey business? You never said nothing about no government secrets. It was supposed to be a straight-up job.
And what about the geezer whose shop it was, eh? Poor old bloke didn't have to die, did he?
Nice to know who your friends are. I know of other ways that can work, but this happened simply because of the quickest way. Happened simply because the quickest way doesn't work. So I'll just take the longer path. That same path that I have tried before.
Indeed. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this little music box to become so significant in the proceedings. However, as it has, I will admit it into the court record as evidence.
The strange music box only appears to be able to play a single tone. It was deposited at Winnipeg's 2 days before the Black Overcoat. This is the mechanism that turns on the bumps on the disc into sound, isn't it?
Yes, the movement. It's all thanks to the comb. With its teeth that are plucked by the passing bumps. Usually the teeth on the comb are different lengths so that each one produces a different tone. But this comb is very strange. All the teeth are exactly the same length.
Well, what does that mean?
It means that no matter which tooth it's plucked by the passing bumps, the music box will make the same sound. I've never seen a music box like this before.
Yes, it's strange. A music box that can only play a single note. There has to be some significance to that, surely. Surely. What's this? Oh?
What is it, Bruno?
I've just noticed something about this music box. Looks like at the bottom of it, it opens up as well.
Ah, you're right. Well, come on then. What are you waiting for? Let's open it.
Alright then, here goes.
Look at that. There's another movement on the underside.
So, does that mean you can set another disc to play back on this side?
Yes, I think so. And it looks like the two movements are linked together.
They are linked?
So if you had two discs, they would both play at the same time.
Oh no, that has no significance at all. Who had thought there would be a second movement on the underside of the box?
And this movement is like the other one. The comb's teeth are all the same length.
So, this movement also produces a single tone like the other one?
Yes, it must do. Except the length of the teeth on the two combs isn't the same. So the single tone produced by this movement will be different to the single tone we've already heard.
What?
Basically, each movement can only produce a single note.
But the notes they produce are different. A music box that can only play two tones. What does it mean, Mister? Okay. Same path that I have tried before. Well, I'm going to continue this next time.